Hey, hello, hello. Good evening, good Thursday evening, good happy first day of summer. It is Tammy with Cheers to Creativity, and I am here to be your Thursday Essential Stencil ambassador and share some things with you. Let me see if I can find us just super quick on my iPad. Can you pop on, please? Say hello. I just saw Gloria popping on. That's awesome. We've got lots to talk about tonight. Oh my gracious. Let's see what I've got here. It was not allowing me to see comments earlier. Of course not. That's okay. I'll go back afterwards, but this way I can keep an eye on things a little bit. All right. So first and foremost, summer, officially summer. I love summer, so it's great. Let's talk about July Stencil of the Month Club first. It is open, as you know, and they have extended the open time so that you can actually join up until July 13th. That's awesome. It really is. That gives us a chance to get more people and show more. I know a couple people, here I am, have shown it already. I have done the basic set, and I just did it on a piece of scrap wood, but it was so fun. It's so detailed, and it goes together super, super easy. So you always have an option with Stencil of the Month Club. You can do our basic set, which is usually 3 6x8 stencils. Because this is a layering stencil, there's actually 4 this month. And what's great about all the Essential Stencil layering stencils is they show you step by step what you're going to be adding on. And so it's really very helpful for you to look and go, oh, I'm going to be putting on the sleigh. It should probably be whatever color you want your sleigh to be. Or your moon, do you want it to be white? Do you want it to be yellow? But it breaks it down very, very nicely. So that is the basic set. The premium set is the same deal, only there's just a little more detail to this one this month. You have the, I'm going to call it the town underneath, and it just evolves. It's just gorgeous. So that's your premium set. And when you do get the premium set, you always have the option of the add-on. And both of these phrases are awesome. May the miracle of Christmas fill your heart with joy, and Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night, which would be gorgeous above that scene. But these as just signs are perfect. If you've never joined and you want to join this month, please do, and please use our code CHEERS. You'll get 50% off of the premium set, and you'll get the first basic month free. That does not include shipping or any of the add-ons. Hello, hello, hello. I see people from California. You love the little town. Yeah, I think that I love the set. I think it's great. I see, I haven't done it yet, but I see either of the phrases above the premium set with the town beneath it on like a fireplace screen. And then maybe just pulling some extra trees off if you're doing like a trifold fireplace screen. So that's kind of my thought on that. Now, one of the things you're really going to enjoy using with any of our stencils, but especially a layered stencil that has lots of details, is the new, do I have this right? Yeah. The mini stencil brush set. There's 4 different sizes in there. They're a very soft white Taklon brush. When you first get them, they might be they seem like a little powdery. Don't worry about it. That's just the sizing coming off. And I've really been enjoying them. I'm finding a little different touch for me. Doesn't mean it's going to work the same way for you, but I'm finding I'm needing to use just a tiny bit of a lighter touch with these. Wow. So we could go off all night just on that, right? But you know that Essential Stencil has once again outdone themselves with a summer 2024 bundle. Really, really awesome thing. One is if you're going to get the bundle, you can order it tomorrow, and it's 15% off the bundle instead of the normal 10%, but you can still save an additional 10% if you use Cheers. The bundle has all the stencils, the transfers, and some really cool extra bonuses. They're also offering all of those individually. Now, the bundle, they only have 100 of the bundles. So if you really want the bundle, I would set your alarm clock and make sure you're doing it. I'm going to show you the stencils. I'm going to show you the transfers. We're going to do a couple projects and have fun with them. They're just so summer. They're just perfect for summer. I mean, everything from fireflies to lemonade, sweet tea, to just fun stuff. So we're going to look at those in just a sec. What else do we have? I think we can get started with some projects. You got the brushes, haven't used them, waiting for someone to try them. I'll be using the brushes tonight. I'll definitely show you. So I am looking for my cute little sign. I'm in a different spot tonight because I think it might be easier to be standing. But you can always follow us on Cheers to Creativity. Use our discount code CHEERS at checkout and you'll save 10% on any of your orders from Essential Stencil. Let's talk about the stencils. All right. Well, it's summer. So hello, summer. How cute is this? It just says, hello, summer. Let's try to get you the... And it has all those little fireflies flying around. We're going to be using this set. And we're going to be using parts of this 3-piece 6x6 that has a bonus. So that means there's 4. And it is called Starry Skies and Fireflies. And I'm going to be using a couple of those tonight. So we have, let's see, this is the bonus. That's just the jar with the fireflies. A country nightlight. Starry Skies and Fireflies. And the last one I'm going to do on a t-shirt for you. And it says, let your light shine. So that's one of the projects that will be coming up in just a bit. There's a couple other 6x6 sets. This one is called Don't Ruffle My Feathers. And again, there's a bonus, which is super sweet. You have Don't Ruffle My Feathers. This is the bonus rooster, which I just think is the perfect outline for you to go out crazy and add some extra stuff on. We also have this sweet little chicken in this little wreath. And the other one may or may not have already been used. Welcome to Our Coop. And I have used Welcome to Our Coop, but I just thought I would show it to you. I'm going to show you how I do ceramic tiles. It's just a glazed ceramic tile to turn them into trivets. But I used Welcome to Our Coop, and I actually just personalized it with our names. I used me and my hubby. So really cute. So I'll tell you, these are, I'm going to be done with the enamel paints that I like to use, and I will throw them in the oven and bake them because they certainly can be baked, and that will make them permanent. Now, also, if you just let them sit for like 3 weeks, it's pretty darn impossible to get that paint off. But that is one from the Don't Ruffle My Feathers group. Another set of the 6x6 is 3 kind of summer tea things, sunshine and sweet tea. We have Raised on Sweet Tea and Jesus, Porch Sittin' and Sweet Tea Sippin', and the other one in that one says Sunshine and Sweet Tea. Super, super cute. What else do I have to show you? See, I thought I could do this and stay organized, but it's probably not going to happen. All right, let me show you a couple faith-based stencils. This is one, we had one similar years ago, but this is new. You can't wait to see me do the rooster. We'll do the rooster, probably not tonight, but we will do it. Act justly, love mercy, and walk humbly, which is from Micah 6:8. And I love the mixture of fonts on these. I just think they're super, super cool. I actually have a dresser scarf that is embroidered upstairs that has that on it and has it's just kind of like an old sampler. Okay, here's another one of the faith-based ones. It's from Romans 12:12. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. So again, this is a great example of one that we could just do, be joyful. You can just do using the words faithful. So you can always mix up our stencils a tad. Let's put that one that way. Don't think we're going to get to that tonight. Here is another one. And this is from, I'm going to keep all check, Proverbs 4:23. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Love, love, love. So cool. Put that in there. Not necessarily faith-based, but has amen in it. Nobody eats till we say amen. And I love that idea. I think it'd be great on an apron, great on a tray. But I also just love that amen. I think that it's just gorgeous. Just pretty, pretty, pretty. Just about the time I think Essential Stencil can't do anything better, they come up with all this fun stuff. One of the bonuses that they have this in, if you're buying the bundle or if you hit 65 or 90, this is one of them, and it is the no soliciting sign. And it does say, let me pull the, oops, I got it stuck to my thing. No soliciting. And then you can just keep it at that. Keep it super simple. Or you could add, do not knock or ring the bell. Seriously, don't make it weird. No soliciting, please. Or no soliciting, no need to get the dogs involved. That's probably the one I need on my front door. Because, oh my goodness, do my dogs go cray cray when somebody knocks. Great porch sign, welcome to our porch, where wasting time is time well spent. I had to think about that. Oh my goodness. Like that one very much as well. I think Miss Sharon did this one yesterday. It says, welcome, caution, cats at play. Again, great door hanger. And we actually have a way to layer and get a little more detail for that kitty cat. But I thought, how cute would it be just to use the paws and the yarn like on a placemat that you put the cat's water or food dish on. Super, super cute. I don't know too many cats that wear bandanas, but if they did, that could be cute on a bandana. Very, very sweet little piece as well. I'm going to jump to showing you the transfers that come with the bundle, or you can order them individually. They're good size. They're big size. This one is the Country Fields Lavender Market. Isn't that pretty? You've got the almost like a teapot with lavender in it, which would make sense because it says flowers, essential oils, and fragrant teas. It is so pretty. Those colors are just vibrant and gorgeous. Put that one there. And the other big transfer in the summer 2024 is Daisy Patch Dairy Farms. You've got, I believe those are Holstein cows. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I think those are Holstein. Organic fresh produce, buttermilk, cream, and cheese. Cheese is my favorite. All right. I showed you those. Showed you those. What haven't I showed you? Oh, I know. I know. This is a very cool one. This is a layered stencil of the mountains and the river. And again, look at how detailed the stencils are and how fun it is to build that scene and get to see it come to life. I did get to play with it. It is just fun. It's just gorgeous. I mean, it looks very, very hand-painted. Love it, love it, love it. Dairy cows are a beautiful one. Yes, the lavender is gorgeous. You're getting the cat. Good for you. Okay, so I've shown you that one. The other one is one that is a bonus at one of those levels 2. And it is one that says the best memories are made gathered around the table. And I'm hoping I get to show you that one today too. All right. We're going to see what we're going to do, okay? I think I'm going to start with the summer one. I'm going to set this aside up here. This might not be my best angle, but that's okay. I have 2 things I want to do with the Starry Skies and Fireflies set. The first one is I want to take a t-shirt. This is just a t-shirt, and I've just put it on a board, okay? And this is the one that says, let your light shine, okay? So I'm going to put that down. I might need to move a couple things like this. is I want to put it down, and I want to try to stay out of your way when I'm showing you what I'm doing. But let's see what we can do for positioning. So we've got this, right? You can see that pretty well, right? So this is our stencil. I've just taped it down. This is a little girl's t-shirt. When I work on fabric, I pre-wash my fabric. I like to use fabric paint, or this is like a fabric paint. This is a DecoArt So Soft fabric paint. Or if I'm going to be using regular paint, hang on, I do have a regular paint here too. I like to mix it with a fabric medium. Okay. Now, if you've ever gotten acrylic paint on your clothes, you pretty much know it's not coming off. So is it absolutely necessary? Probably not. But I like the softness. So I'm going to grab a couple colors here. I think I'm going to try, I thought maybe the silver would work kind of for the jar lid. So this is a silver So Soft metallic. Ooh, and that is not how paint should look when you put it out. So it just needs to be shook up. Happens sometimes. There, that's more what it should look like. And then I'm just thinking about colors. I think I want my letters to be a blue, a darker blue. And this is a little bit of a metallic blue, so I think that'll be pretty. And I need a color for my jar. I might just be able to do, I think we'll be okay. I'm going to grab a little white. And I'm going to grab a little yellow. But I like the idea of the neon yellow, and the neon yellow is a regular paint, so I'll just put it out and maybe just a dot. I mix it about quarter to half and half. So a little more paint than fabric medium, but I can mix that, and I can use either or both of them on there. Okay, so I am going to grab a brush. Imagine that. And I think I'm going to grab one of the new brushes. I did use this today, but it should be clean and dry. And I'm going to start with a little silver, okay? And I'm going to load my brush. But just like any time we're using anything with stenciling, we need to offload, okay? Just making sure it's on there. Yep. This is the one I said that when I'm working on wood, I've been having to be a little lighter. I'm going to be on fabric, so I probably can lay it down a little, push it into a little bit. I'm just going to peek to see if I can see that. Can barely see that. I might need to really rethink that. I might need to go with a different color. I'm going to try putting the silver on the top of the lid first and see if I can see it. It just might be a little too light. Don't know till you try. Let me peek. Oh, I do think I can see that. Okay. So I'm going to just wipe my brush off best I can. I'm going to go into my dark blue. And this is going to be my letters. And see, I'm kind of just letting it dance a little bit on there. And fabric's a little different than painting on wood or canvas. But I do think this is going to work pretty well. You certainly do not want to have too much paint on your brush when you're working on fabric. So you don't want the bleed, of course. Let your light shine. You might need just a touch more. I like to double check on a spot that isn't open yet. Make sure you don't have too much paint. I did get a little bit on that wing. It's okay. Let your light shine. And I got to decide how I'm going to make that jar show up. And I might actually need to gloss some white that I already put out, right? Nope, didn't put it white. Didn't put it white. Maybe just a touch of black with that. I might just make my jar just kind of gray. See if I can get this cleaned out, because it's going to be okay if I'm making it kind of a gray, making white and black to make a gray. And I'm just going to do that for my edge of my jar. I'm going to peek. That works. I'm going to need to grab a clean brush or rinse my brush out really well. I don't really like to use, don't like to clean a brush and then try to dry it off enough to use for a stencil brush, because they still hold a lot of water. So I think I'll just grab another little brush. I'm going just straight white. And my straight white is going to be, what's my straight white? Oh, there's a little accent line here and a little accent line down here. I may have already made those two gray. All right, so we've got our little fly lines, and then we have our little bugs. I think I'm going to start with that neon yellow and see if that's going to show up. It might not show up on here. I think it's going to just turn almost green, so we might need to go right to that yellow. So I'm just going to tap them in. Where they've got little fly lines, or little, they look like they're shining out. There's a little one up here. Here's one down here. And I did get into one of my little wings, but I think we'll be okay. And there's one right here. It's my little guys. I'm going to go ahead and pick up that light, make that a little bit of that light gray for my little fly lines, so I can see them. I think that's all my fly lines. All right, we're going to peek at this and see how this is looking. We're not done. So let your light shine. I want this to dry just a tiny bit. So while that's drying just a bit, I'm going to grab from Hello Summer, and I'm going to borrow those fireflies. I'm going to have them kind of coming out of my jar. Trying to get this out. So let's start with this guy here. Let him fly out of my jar. Where's my little brush I had? I'm going to keep to this little light gray fly lines. And then I'm going to grab another brush. And I'm going to grab that yellow. I'm offloading. I'm just going to do everything yellow. I'm going to make them shine a little brighter in a minute, but just for right now, we're just going to do everything yellow. Okay, so that was one spot. And then I'm going to come back and maybe we can like fly. I'm going to fly these guys up. Here's my yellow for this one. Here's my yellow for this one. We're going to use the fly line color on the little dots. I guess there's 3 of them that are flying out, so that might be just the right amount. Okay. I think that's cute. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually grab one of the bigger brushes, and I'm going into just white, okay? And I'm going to take like as much of that off as I can. And I'm just going to, around my little guys, add a little extra white around them so they kind of like highlight. Boop, 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 boop. So they kind of shine. Don't want to go over the, don't want to, if the paint's still wet, I don't want to smear the paint. Then I'm going to take a little bit of fabric glitter. Sure I am. A little bit of fabric glitter. Same brush. This is clear glitter. And we'll just kind of go ahead and add a little bit of the glitter around our little fireflies so they have a little glow. A little bit of white paint there, didn't mean to. I don't like things going in midair, as any of you who follow me know. We're just going to create a little more of little bits of places where they could be flying away. Maybe we don't see the whole little critter in there, but we can see areas where it was glowing. So I'm just going to pick up a color. I'll pick up a little green. Just so like it's sitting, maybe sitting down in the grass, the little jar. And there we have a cute little t-shirt that says, "Let your light shine." Set this aside. Little let your light shine. So we'll set that one down. Now I'm going to do something with one of the other ones, and this is a mason jar, just a plain old mason jar that doesn't have any embossing on it. So it's a smooth one. Did you see the lights? These we have hanging all over our yard. And I thought it would be fun if I could take one of the other ones from this set, if I can find it. Here you go, this one. And stencil this on here, okay? Did I have this? There we go. Little signs. First, I've got to tape that down. Make sure I can rinse my brush out super quick. Now, a lot of times when I work on glass, I like to use sponges, and I might do that on this. I haven't decided yet. I haven't tried glass in our new brushes yet. But first thing, I've got to tape this down. So, this says Starry Skies and Fireflies. And it's going to be a little, tape it down that side. Whee! Fly away. Tape it down this side. Stretching it down. The lights turn on. They're solar powered, so they turn on when it gets dark enough. So, got to think what's going to show up enough. And I do want to have a little bit of different color going on. I need to switch from fabric paint to enamel paint. Enamel paint can get baked, and because this is a glass jar, I can take those lights out of there and actually bake this and know that it's going to stay on really, really well. Okay, so we have a little yellow for our fireflies. This is gloss enamel, and I don't know. I think I want my words to be blue if I can make that work. And we'll just go ahead and try a little silver. I just made my yellow completely messed up, didn't I? There you go. So there's my colors. I will go back afterwards and look for comments, guys. but just too hard to do right now. So first I'm going to do, this is a makeup sponge. I'm just going to cut it so it's a little smaller. And might need a little color for those little flowers. I think those are all little fireflies. We're going to make them. So I'm going to dab into my yellow. And even when I'm using a sponge, I'm still going to offload, okay? So I'm hitting all my little fireflies first, and it's probably going to take more than one coat. Those look like, we might add flowers too. So let's do that one. Let it sit because it's going to need another coat. I've just decided that I have little flowers too. I don't know if they are or not, but we're going to make them orange. This will be so fun to show you when I'm able to put it outside and take a picture of it. Which may not be tonight. Okay. One more here. I'm going to try that blue. If it doesn't show up, we'll just add some black to it. So again, I've loaded my sponge. I'm offloading it over on my paper towels. Might have to come back in and actually hand put in the top of the T. But we're just tapping around. Tapping here, doing my lettering. I'll come back and give it a second coat momentarily. Now, when I work on glass or like the tiles that I'm going to use for the trivets, I did wipe them off with just rubbing alcohol. Same stuff you have in your medicine cabinet. That just makes sure you get rid of any grime. Make sure they're clean. Okay, so we're going to let this sit for just a half sec. I think I can be able to come back with my yellow. This is not going to be opaque, so you're still going to be able to see through it a little bit. I'm going to grab my little orange. A little orange in this flower, and this flower. Decided that was a flower. This is a flower. Got to do that jar. So I'm going to snip. So go into my silver. Ooh. Offload, offload, offload. The reason the lights are flickering on and off is because as you cover up that top, it thinks it's dark. I kind of feel like I'm going to need to grab some black. Here. A little black enamel. Just don't think that silver is going to show up enough. Because it's just paint. I'm experimenting. I don't know if this is going to work or not. Sounds like a great idea in my head. I'm going to do my blue one more time. And we're going to see what we've got. With enamel paint, it doesn't have to dry completely, but it does have to dry a little bit before you put your next coat on, or you're just going to pick it up. So what did you all do on the first day of summer? I worked. But my son got to go with his classmates to a place called Silver Lake, and they had a ball in the lake all day today. All right. Are we ready? Are we ready to see? We're going to see what we've got, and hopefully it's a good what we've got. We've got a little jar of fireflies, starry skies, and fireflies. And we've got a little bit of fireflies hanging right around there. And I think what I'll do is I'll let it dry just a touch. Well, maybe I don't even need to probably let it dry. I'm going to grab a detail brush. One of our little detail brushes, and I'm going to find some white enamel. The jar turned out okay. So I'm just picking a little white, and just wherever those little fireflies are, I'm just going to add some little extra little white lines so they look like they're glowing a little more. And because I decided those are flowers, we're just going to put a little dot in the center of those little flowers. And it will light up when it's dark. I think it's cute. All right, I'm going to rinse that brush. Set my stencil aside so I don't forget to clean it. It is really important to clean ones that you do with gloss paint pretty quickly afterwards. All right. Up next is a mess. Tammy has a mess. Imagine that. Here's my gloss. This is the gloss. This is the gloss too. I'm just going to snip off what I used so I can use the sponges again if I need to. If not now, later. And I'm going to grab one of these trivets. And like I said, these are just glazed trivets. They're 6 by 6 inches. Got them at Hobby Lobby. And I wanted to use, which one? The one I can't find. Let's see. Where did I put it? I showed you Welcome to the Coop because that's the one I did here already. So I think we're going to use the little chicken. Okay. So the stencil is just a little bigger, but we can still tape it around the side. I'm still going to be using the enamel paints. Oops. Just wrapping that around the sides. And now we've got this little thing out. I've got the yellow out, so let's go ahead and pick up some yellow. Offload it. And I'm going to tap around this flower. I'm going to do it first in yellow because then I don't have to worry about the center. I can come back and put the darker part on top of that. Might want a second coat, might not. And then we decide what color I want those. I think a nice light green will suffice. I'll just use the sponge that I just cut off. When I did the Welcome to the Coop, I used our mini brushes, and they worked pretty well. Just doing this for the green. I'll just carry it all the way around. Those little dots can be green too. Grab that yellow again. And then I have to decide about that chicken. So I think my chicken is going to be white. Make sure my brush is dry. I'm picking up that white enamel. Oh, it's not going to show up as white, is it? We're going to change our mind. Let's see. How about a brown? Let's just make our chicken mostly a brown or a tan. So I've got white on there, so I might lighten this up a little bit, but that's okay. Offloading it, and I'm just going to come in here and swirl and tap. If I tap first, I'll give it a good layer. And we'll hit it with a blow dryer. It's going to need another coat, so we'll hit it with a blow dryer. And we'll add a little detail to it. But this is just getting our first little bit on. Make sure we've got this chicken kind of covered in a color. Hang on to it. I can come back in. I haven't even cleaned my brush, but I can come back in and swirl a little bit more to fill that in first and foremost. Quick peek. Pretty good. And I think I'm going to pick up some white now with that same brush, tap it off, and I'm just going to kind of think about a couple little swirls of her back there. Maybe she's a little lighter in her tummy. And do I have red? No, I don't know if I have red out or not. I do. Let's grab a touch of red, and we'll just give her a little bit of a comb on the top. Use our little detail brush, one of our little detail brushes. I'll pick up a little bit of that orange I have. I'll lay in where her beak would be, and a little bit of this red, and pull in a little bit of the idea where her comb would be. It doesn't have to be super detailed, just an idea. And I'm going to pick up, we will just kind of give her a couple little swooshes in her tail feathers, and maybe pick up a little black. Her feet wouldn't be black, they'd be more on the orangey yellow side. Let's rinse that out. Just to lighten them up a little bit. Now I am going to lift this off before I finish my flower. Oops, there's one little smear there, but I think I can just grab a Q-tip if I have one. Little Q-tip, just get a little smear right there, but we can just clean it off. Boop, boop, boop. I am going to grab a little more brown. It's a little bit underneath her feet. And then I'm going to take that brown, maybe even mix it with a tiny bit of black so it's a little darker. And where that center is, I'm just going to tap, 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 tap. We've got this little flower. We've got the little bit of greens. Isn't that cute? So there's a pair of trivets for us. Time-wise, quarter two. I was going to do another trivet, but I think I'm going to switch to doing one other project, and if I have time, I'll go back and do the other trivet. Just going to take the tape off of this, set it there. I'll snip this, bloop, and this. I'm going to put my enamel paints off to the side. And I normally will only base coat if it's something really simple. And that was my intention. until I had a little hiccup with my surface tonight. It's no big deal. We're going to make it work. I'm going to grab the surface. So I thought I wanted this to be a color called Light Avocado, but it just was too green. Let me show you the color that I initially was going to use. And it just ended up being too dark. So then I just kind of added some light buttermilk and kind of swished it all together. And I'm still not loving it. So before I even start on this, I'm going to take a little bit of light buttermilk. I'm just going to grab me a clean plate. So now I've switched to just regular acrylic paint. This is just regular Decor Art acrylic paint. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this light buttermilk. And I'm going to take a dry brush, just a chippy brush. Okay. I'm going to take most of that off. And I'm going to have a really light touch, and I'm just going to try to lighten this up a little bit. It just didn't really do what I wanted it to do. So we're just going to add a little bit of this lighter color in the middle, at least, before I stencil. A little bit of lightness in it. But I thought I would show you super quick. This is just a wood panel. So what happened for me was I've lost my paint. How did I do that? Well, I was going to show you. I might not be showing you. Well, that's just silly. Well, we're going to be using this. I guess I could show it to you with this. This is not the color I was going to use. This probably would have been a better color, but I started putting this color on, and it just was too one tone for me. So grab a big brush. So when I started putting this on, it just looked too one dimension. That's when I just used the light buttermilk and lightened it up a little bit. That's why it looks a little streaky and not one colored. Which is fine. But it still was just a little too dark. Like I said, this is a slightly different color, but you get the idea of how I just created the blend by just back and forth, back and forth. And then when I ran out of paint, I just dipped my brush in water to help it move a little more. But I really felt it needed to be a little lighter. So that's why I just grabbed this light ivory or light buttermilk, a little bit, taking it off, and then just very lightly, I'm just brushing this on a little bit. And then we're going to hit it with a blow dryer so we can do some fun stuff. Okay. Sometimes you just don't know until you start playing. There goes my puppy dogs, barking like crazy dogs. All right. Okay, what's next? What's next is I want to use the best memories are made gathered around the table. And I want to turn this into a tray, okay? And I did put a link on some handles, but of course you can find them other places as well. And then I like to put mine on a turntable so that it spins around. Do I have one handy? Probably not. I do. Anytime. So not what we're using today, but I put one of the turntables on the bottom of it, and that way it can go for a spin, okay? My grandkids used to call those taco turntables because we'd put our taco stuff on them. Okay, so I want to put this on, and I know I'm going to put handles on at some point, but I really think I want to start with putting a few sunflowers on first. So I'm going to cut my sunflower, which means I may not be using the wreath. I haven't decided yet, but I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to let it go around my corner a little bit. So I'm going to peel off my transfer. I'm going to lay it down like in the corner, and I do want it to come over my edge at least a little bit. So let's go like that, okay? So I'm going to lay it down. You always, always, always want to make sure your surface is dry before you put your transfer on. How is it that I don't ever have our tools? So you can use one of our tools. You can use a popsicle stick like I'm using. Sometimes I'll even use my nails if it's a small area. I like to rub it all down first, and then when I start peeling it off, I do it a little at a time to make sure all my areas are down. This is looking pretty good. And you just pull it slowly. That way, if you have any part that aren't sticking, I had a spot right there. So I'm just going to lay it back down. And just make sure it's good and adhered. Voila. And I just a little at a time. Our transfers are gorgeous. And whenever I go around the corner, I just kind of do it as I go. Make sure I get that part too. Good job. I have a wedding coming up, but I just found out that the bride really likes sunflowers. So this may actually end up being part of a wedding gift. I'm just pulling a little bit at a time. Find any spot that isn't quite adhering, I lay it back down. The stencil I'm going to be using is going to be one of the freebies that comes when you're doing the bundle. The bundle's really a great deal. It's like $152 because they've discounted already 15%. But then if you use Cheers, you're going to save an additional 10%. Okay, how we doing? Pretty good. Almost there, almost there. And I haven't decided yet if I want to do any flowers up at the top. I'm going to lay the stencil down first before I decide that. Just got one little spot on my flower here that didn't want to adhere. Probably could have made sure it was a little drier than I did. Might be rushing just a touch. Okay. And I just like to make sure I'm rubbing them all down. See how they wrapped around the edge? Okay. So let's take the stencil out and decide if we're going to add any up on the top part or not. This is an 18-inch round. I got mine at not Hobby Lobby, at Home Depot. I'm just going to center it. I don't think I'm going to do this one, but I think I can't decide. Can't decide. But I do think it needs something. Maybe one up here. Maybe a leaf. Maybe like something here and there. I do think that. So before I do my stenciling, I'm going to do this part first. I'm going to lay the leaf down first. Right there. Lay it down. putting the leaf down first because the sunflower would kind of show up more on top of it. And it has a couple little leaves, but I just want a bigger one because we have big leaves on the bottom. With the off-white that I added onto this, it doesn't look bad, the background. I think the background is actually going to be really good with this. One spot there. Okay. Let's take the sunflower. Remember, guys, Essential Stencil is going to be giving away 3 gift cards at the end of my live. And the way they pick that is by who's been kind of participating, who's been commenting and sharing and all that fun stuff. We would love for you to follow us over on our page, Cheers to Creativity. I don't do stuff over there all the time, but definitely on Tuesdays where we do tips, techniques, and teachings. I think that's where I did, yes it is, it's where I did the layered summer one of the mountains and river on Tuesday, so you can go back over to Cheers and find that on Tuesday. Got a couple little spots that don't want quite adhere, and we're going to make them adhere. This way, maybe. And then we're going to add our stencil, add our handles. I will add the handles afterwards because you really don't want me in power tools. There we go. So we've laid that on top. And now I'm going to lay this in the middle. I'm going to tape it down. I don't think I'm going to do I think I'm just going to do this part. I could change my mind, but I don't think I'm going to do them. So let's kind of tape that off where we might get tempted. Same about a space. I'm just going to use a deeper green. This is Plantation Pine. It's a pretty green. And I'm just going to grab one of our regular brushes. So I'm loading my brush. I'm going to offload it so I don't have too much paint. Just a nice rich green. So you can order these starting tomorrow, both on the main page and on the app. There are only 100 bundles available. And you can order these and qualify for those free gifts at the $65 and $90 mark until next Friday, the 28th? I think it's the 28th. Stencil of the Month Club, you have until July 13th to still be able to get the July Stencil of the Month. If you're not a member of Stencil of the Month Club, it's great to get the exclusive stencils delivered every month. Plus, you have a wonderful Facebook group with very supportive people where they share their ideas, not just Stencil of the Month, but other stencils as well. And you have ambassadors that come into the group to really showcase the Stencil of the Month as well. Just take a quick second coat around the top here. And within Stencil of the Month Club, there is the club shop where some previous month's stencils are available if they have extras of them, and they have some of the transfers that were exclusive to there as well. It's a fun group. Okay, let me see how we like this. Sometimes when you have trouble getting it up, you just take another piece of tape. Oh, I think that's pretty. I think it's pretty. Just need to decide if I want to add. I don't think I'm going to add them where they were. I think I'm going to add them more off to the side. Probably want all of it. So here's a little green on this side. And maybe I might have to turn this and make it look better for me. I might do a little bit off this way too. Oops, gotta remove the tape. Gotta trust in the process here. I knew I wanted a little darker on the edges, so I think this might just be a good, yeah, that looks pretty good. So we've used the whole stencil, but we just kind of pivoted the greenery to kind of fit a little more in with the flowers. Okay. Whew. That was a lot. You like those colors? Good, good, good. So we did the best memories are made gathered around the table. We added in the sunflowers from the sunflower transfers. Then I did a couple of the trivets. We did one together. This is the little chick. And we're just going to add a couple little highlights into her tail. And I showed you, oops, sorry guys, that I also from the same package we did welcome to our coop. I'm a little off. Then for fireflies, we did this sweet little mason jar. I did put the link that has these lights in there too, and they come with a little hanger so you can hang them on shepherd's hooks or hang them around your deck or whatever you like. But this one says Starry Nights and Fireflies. No, starry skies and fireflies. And there's a little firefly in the jar and a couple flying around. And 1, 2, 3, what else did we do? Did we do something? Oh, yes, we did one more thing. We did it on a little t-shirt that says, let your light shine. And we just added a little extra white around those little flying fireflies. All right, I'm not sure which way is going to be best for me to find our winners. Let's see. It's not going to be this way because it's not going to show me comments here. So I'm going to have to find them here. So as soon as I see them, and we do appreciate when you use cheers when you are checking out. Oh, thank you. And the new brushes are great. So you got to see me use them on the shirt, and I use them on the trivets. But they'll work on anything. It's just a little bit of a lighter touch. Oh, I'm so glad you like the projects. So I'm just going to wait to see until I see the winners. Sometimes it takes me a little longer than it sees you, but we'll see as soon as they come. Let's see. Let's see. I wonder why I can't see comments on my iPad tonight. It's a little frustrating. That's what it is. It's a little frustrating. Huh. Great. Love sharing with you guys. My round was 18 inches. I think I would almost like this. That's why I added the flowers, as I thought with just the lettering, it would be a little off. I think it would be better if you were just doing the lettering on a 15-inch round, but this is an 18-inch round. All right. Can you show the projects again? Yes, I can, because I'm waiting for our winners. So this is an 18-inch round, and this stencil is one of the bonuses with 65 or 90. I don't remember which one it came with. Then I did a couple little trivets. We did this one. On the ceramics, on these, I am going to, the turn tray I will seal with, I use polyacrylic. I like Varathane polyacrylic. The trivets I'm going to pop in the oven because that will bake the paint on. I use the cold oven method. I put things in cold. I turn it up to 350. I leave it, 325, I'm sorry. I leave it for 30 minutes and then I turn off the heat and I let it cool down a little bit at a time. And then that makes it very permanent. That's how I do my wine glasses. So that's also how I will do with this. I'll just pop the top off and just put the jar in the same time. So did that. This was the one I just kind of played with beforehand, the Welcome to Our Coop, and I kind of personalized it. And we did the little firefly jar. I did put a link in for these lights, these solar lights. It says Starry Skies and Fireflies. And the last project, actually was our first project, was a little t-shirt that says Let Your Light Shine, and it's got little fireflies flying all around. All right. Let me see. Congratulations, winners. Look at this. Congratulations, winners. See more. I'm trying to see more. I'm going to have to hold my phone, guys. I'm so sorry, but it's not letting me pop it open. So if you're a winner tonight, please email support@essentialstencil.com and just let them know you're a winner tonight. So Kathy Littman, Nancy Gillespie, and Donna Lyerly. Donna Lyerly, Nancy Gillespie, and Kathy Littman. Please email support@essentialstencil and let them know you're a winner tonight. Guys, I always appreciate when you spend some time with me. I love our Thursdays together, and I look forward to seeing you whenever we do. Till I see you again, please be kind, enjoy summer, and cheers.